Welcome back, everybody. Another fighter interview with your host, Brandon Halley. Today, I'm joined by Christian West, fighting out of Ronin Training Center in Columbus, Ohio. He's going to be fighting for the 173-pound Southeast striking light heavyweight Glory Rules title. Say that fast 3 times over, because that was a pretty big one. Not only that, but his opponent, Figuereido Landman, is coming all the way from the Netherlands, from the Hemmers gym, to put on a great show. So I'm really excited to watch Christian and Figuereido fight. Christian, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Before we get started, I want to shout out our sponsor, Shipsco and Project Pantheon. Thank you for our sponsor for making all these things possible and being able to put on these great shows. So we're excited to be back in Greenville on November 16th for this title bout. Christian, so I want to talk a little bit about your opponent, man. So I want to get into your upcoming title fight. You're 3-1 pro now.
Yep.
You know, what do you know about your opponent? How do you feel about their style? And then, of course, coming from all the way from the Netherlands, are you expecting a different sort of style from the European game? Have you had any experience with the European game at all?
Yeah. I know he's Dutch style. I have fought people that are Dutch style. And he's coming from a very reputable gym. Hemmer's Gym. It's a great gym. Anybody in Muay Thai or kickboxing should know about it if they don't. So yeah, I'm very much expecting, that. I'm expecting a good fight. So.
Yeah, Christian, I know you're traditionally more of a Muay Thai fighter. How do you feel like the style is going to match up here? And specifically with the Glory rule set, I know Glory rule is a little bit different. I think it's mostly within the clinch, the strikes you're allowed to throw. How familiar are you with that rule set? And then how do you feel the fight's going to be different because of your traditional Muay Thai style versus his kickboxing style?
So, I am familiar with the Glory set, their rule set. I think the biggest thing is just the takeaway of the elbows and the change in the clinch. So, it's not like a traditional Thai clinch where, you can kind of stay there as long as you're active and stay there as long as need be. For Glory, it's a little shorter. You got knees. So, I think the difference between that and Muay Thai is really it comes down to like more of a boxing standpoint and, using the knees and the kicks.
Well said. Where are you looking to take the game down to? Obviously, I don't want to know all your secrets, or all your tactics and plans, but I'm
Yeah.
curious to hear about where you want to take the fight to feel like you can get the finish or to get the decision over.
Honestly, I just want to make it a good fight. That's all I care about. I mean, the game plan's all up here until it's, all said and done. So honestly, as long as it's a good fight, that's all I'm in it for. Like I want somebody who's going to be challenging. I have a very anytime, anywhere, any place, any person kind of mindset. So to me, it doesn't matter who's put in front of me. It's just like, let's just have a good fight. Let's have a challenging fight. Let's put on a show.
Christian, I want to know a little bit more about your background into martial arts. Can you walk me back to the first day that you walked into the gym and kind of the feeling that you remember having to what got you into fighting, and then what's kept you in fighting, and what's now led you being 3-1 pro?
So I started off doing some different arts. I'd start off with some striking classes when I was younger. I got into martial arts when I was 15. And, I was training at more of a lesser known gym out here in Ohio that actually doesn't exist anymore. And then I ended up going to Ronin a few years later and it got into the Muay Thai program. I had done a cross of that, jiu-jitsu, judo, and I started getting fights in Muay Thai. I just fell in love with the sport. And really what got me into it in the first place, I was actually heavily bullied in school. So it kind of gave me the motivation to have that outlet and put things that I was feeling as a teenager, as a young adult, into a healthy place. So, I'm really grateful to be a part of this sport and do the things that I do. So that's basically my background. And from that, it just turned into this huge passion. And ever since I fell in love with it, I just wanted to go all the way to the top. As far as I can go is where I want to go. So
For you within your personal journey, what do you consider the top? Obviously, you just said as far as you can go, but in the perfect scenario, where would you end up when you're done with your career?
I'm done with my career. Honestly, world championship, man. Um, I don't. I have goals that I want to hit for sure, but a few of them are like being on the USA team for Muay Thai. Uh, you know, but getting to a point that I can get a world championship under my belt would be amazing. So that's the end goal, and then after that, whatever life throws at me. So
We over here at Southeast Striking, we're really excited to have you come down all the way from Ohio to come compete. I know you have a few other uh, teammates that's coming on the card also. I was watching your first pro fight, your pro debut fight, and I noticed the Muay Thai shorts. Have you gone to Thailand before? If I'm interpreting the shorts correctly, have you been to Thailand before? And if so, how was that experience like?
yeah, I went to Thailand. I fought in Thailand, um, and it was an amazing experience. I feel like it was the first fights I had where I didn't have to wear headgear or shin guards, and um, so that was a different experience. And elbow pads is also a huge thing, especially amateur out here in the States. So to kind of take all that away was really like, I felt really good about it. Um, but it was an amazing experience. I got to experience different things in life. I got a different perspective on life. Um, my training ability went up. It was amazing, like to put it short.
Yeah, can you tell me about a moment while you were in Thailand, or perhaps a specific conversation you had with somebody where, like you said, a perspective change in life, but also like a really good lesson in martial arts you took away from Thailand?
That's a really good question. I would say like perspective I took away um, from there, and some valuable lessons that I learned were maybe not to put so much on myself, just enjoy the journey and just do my best. Because win or lose, I know I'm putting in the work. So win or lose, it doesn't matter. It just do what you're supposed to do at the end of the day.
Very well said, and I think that's something a lot of fighters struggle with too. As being one of the pro fighters within your gym, what are those the same lessons you pass down to some of the younger fighters that you're mentoring also?
Absolutely, yeah. I always say, it's like dancing. You're there. We're there to have fun and learn. That's what it's about. It's not about winning. It's not about, if you're in a sparring round, it's not about winning or losing. It's like go in, have fun, and when you go in and have fun, you learn the most.
Absolutely. Let's. These are all good points to talk about too. And I want to get to know you a little bit more personally, Christian. I didn't get to hand you over
Okay.
the intake form that we've been shooting out for the fighters, and that's kind of the way for us to get a first glimpse at our fighter. What do they like? What do they like to eat? What do they like to do for hobbies? So, Christian, go ahead and tell me what's your favorite food? What do you like to do in your free
Favorite
time?
food? Honestly, it's my seem practical, but Thai food. Honestly, love Thai food. Um, yeah, I'd say like a good pad Thai is really delicious. There was another dish I had out there that was excellent, which was a stir fried macaroni. Um, so that's really good.
How is your spice game, dude? Because like I know Thai food is pretty spicy, especially over there. So how's your spice game, and how was the spice level in Thailand?
Yeah, the spices. the spices hit way different. They're way spicier than here in the States. A one here is like, oh, that's not spicy at all, and a one over there is like pretty damn spicy. So yeah, I know. I remember I got one dish before. I forget what it was. I had no idea it was spicy though, and it ended up lighting my mouth on fire. So
That's funny. What was like a typical training day in Thailand look like for you? You wake up. What do y'all do to get started?
typical training day is basically, wake up 6 a.m. Start running. Um, we'd run a 10K out there in the morning. Go in, you shadow box. Depending on the day, you would either do um, like timing rounds or sparring rounds, and then it was into bag work and clench work. And then there were other days um, where they would alternate between um, bag work and pad work, and then there would be days for the sparring and everything. So, but it would be twice a day, uh, anywhere from 5 to 7 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Very cool. Do you kind of replicate the same kind of style here? What does your typical training day look like?
Here, yeah, I try to implement it as much as possible. It's a little tougher out here because out there in Thailand, you can kind of live as a fighter. Um, so in the States, you got to work a job and do everything like that. But usually, wake up in the morning. I try to implement the running as much as possible, as close to Thailand as I can. And then, typical afternoon session is 3 to 4 hours, and just get in as much work as I can, whether it's, you know, timing or bag work, speed bag. There's a lot of different, uh, I would say, routes and paths to take as far as training. So try to do as much as I can, honestly.
As you become more of a veteran of a pro, obviously you've had tons of fights now, so you're already veteran in the fight game. But obviously the pro game is a little bit different, of course, especially in the West. Um,
Absolutely.
so how are you looking to mm, continue to challenge yourself even after this fight? Are you looking to continue to climb in the Muay Thai world, or are you looking to dip your toes in the kickboxing world a little bit more?
Honestly, whatever door opens and whatever opportunities present themselves, I'm open to. So whether it's Muay Thai, whether it's kickboxing, K1 Glory rules, it doesn't matter to me. Um, I'm willing to do all of it. So it's like, yeah, I love all of it. So after this fight, I try to always look at, even if I win, I always look at what can I do better? What could have I done better? And then just go from there and build and grow.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of your favorite fighters that you like to watch? And is there a fighter that you like to replicate their style of that you resonate with a lot more?
Honestly, two of my favorite fighters right now, both from Thailand. One of them is Super Bon, and the other is Tawanchai,
Mhm.
and they both fought. They fight at a lighter weight class than me, so I would say those are like my top guys right now. Like, I really like their styles, the explosiveness that they have, the techniques that they have, how they go about it is just amazing to me. They're amazing fighters.
Yeah, I absolutely love Super Bond, man. I love Super Bond not just because like the way he fights, but like the variety of his styles. Like
Yeah,
he can fight any style he wants as long as the situation calls for it, and I like that. I'm definitely like a generalist, so I'm not a specialist of any kind. I like being a generalist. I like being good at everything, and I resonate with that style. So that's awesome.
absolutely.
Do you watch primarily one championship? Do you watch like RWS or any other Muay Thai shows you watch?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll watch RWS, one championship. Uh, I know they have one Lupini. If I can catch Channel 7 every now and again, I try to catch that. Um, I'll watch Glory. I watch UFC. Basically, anything combat sports, I'll watch it. just to learn, and also it's fun to watch. So
Yeah, absolutely. You're the first pro Muay Thai fighter. Actually, that's not true. I've talked to another Muay Thai pro before. But in your opinion, what do you feel? How do you feel about the growth of Muay Thai across the globe? But I would say, like, more specifically in the U.S. You've seen, you've kind of you've competed as an amateur during the time where it was like starting to really blow up, and now it's a globally recognized sport. So, what's your opinion on the growth of the sport in the U.S. and of course across the globe?
honestly, I think the growth of the sport is amazing. That's something that I've tried to do too, is grow the sport. I feel like that's one of my purposes in the game, is help make it grow, especially in the US. Like, and I think things like One Championship are doing an excellent job at that and putting it on the mainstream. It has grown. I mean, we just got the exhibition um, trials for the Olympics. So, hopefully Muay Thai can get the Olympics, and that would make it even grow more. So I feel grateful to be a fighter in this time for Muay Thai and for kickboxing, honestly, because it's you can see the growth happening. Like, you can see how it's getting bigger just day by day, and there's big things happening, and I know there's going to be bigger things to happen. So it's really cool to see the growth and also be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for helping grow the sport too, man. I absolutely love it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here with this too, right? So I'm a fighter myself, but I recognize the need to grow the
Absolutely.
sport in our area. And, I want to use this platform to put other fighters and meet different fighters. So it's partially selfish, but also partly to give back to the community. So thank you for doing your part also. Christian,
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
before we sign off, man, you know, it's a long way from Ohio to come to South Carolina. We're really excited I'm excited to meet you in person. Do you have any message for your fans and friends?
Honestly, just tune in, watch the fight, expect a good show. Um, and always thank you for the people who support me. And yeah, just be ready for a good show. It's gonna be a good fight.
Absolutely, man. Any other last shout out you want to give out?
Yeah, I have a sponsor with Rev Gear. If you use my code Crispy, all caps, CRISPY at checkout, you get 10% off, and then that helps me out a little bit too.
Thank you to our sponsor, Chipsco and Project Pantheon, always. Make sure you come and tune in person or on live stream on November 16th in Greenville, South Carolina. We'll see you then.